Every victim of a hate crime is someone's son or daughter, and they all deserve protection.
A new hate crime bill becomes law just 1 month after a group of gay campers was attacked on Kauai. Good evening, everyone. Jim Mendoza has the night off, and I'm Stacy Lowe. One camper was on hand as the hate crime legislation was signed into law. And as KGMB9's Garrett Kamemoto reports, supporters say the legislation is a long time coming.
Advocates say they've been waiting far too long for the state legislature to pass a hate crime bill.
This is a measure that's taken a decade to bring to this point.
So the governor's office was packed as Lieutenant Governor Mazie Hirono signed the bill into law.
Hate crimes are acts of terrorism. This is a form of political violence.
Among those on hand was Carolyn Goloyu, who on behalf of her gay son has been lobbying for the measure to become law.
I got up every day saying it was going to, and that was the only way I could keep going, is the hope that one day, and so today, now I believe in miracles again.
She says the bill protects many.
It wasn't just a gay bill, that it was a bill for African Americans. It was a bill for those who live in Palolo Valley, those who live in Waianae, for the Hawaiians, for everyone, for every single minority.
She says the attack of gay campers on Kauai last month is just the latest proof the bill is needed. The bill imposes longer prison sentences for crimes motivated by a victim's race, religion, or sexual orientation. Some say that's unnecessary.
All crime's hateful, and if you start singling out special groups for special treatment, it becomes unequal protection under the law.
But advocates say the real importance of the law is the message it sends, that the state of Hawaii will not tolerate crimes motivated by hate. Garrett Kamemoto, KGMB9 News.
Today's signing was Martin Rice, one of the campers who was attacked on Kauai last month, and he joins us now live in the studio for more reaction to this historic legislation. Why is this so important to you?
Well, personally, I mean, it's obviously important because of the events last month, but it works to erase systemic homophobia. That's why it is personal to me. But it goes beyond the gay issue because it deals with religious preference, ethnicity, race, national origin, things of those. So it protects the larger body of the society.
Why do you think this law will be a deterrent? Because one could argue that most criminals don't think about the consequences of their actions, or they wouldn't commit the crime in the first place.
Well, they commit hate crimes because they think they can get away with them. They pick on people who they think are weak, who they think are defenseless, or obviously otherwise subjugated to some sort of terror.
What do you say to those people like Mr. Hemmings who say that most crimes are hateful and this in itself is a form of discrimination or special treatment for those criminals?
I think that Mr. Hemmings needs to be on the other side of the fence. Obviously he has not been, or he would understand, you know, from within himself the reasons for the need for hate crime legislation. Mr. Hemmings made a statement, and of course he's perfectly willing to, or able to make whatever statement he wants, but in the larger sense, hate crimes exist. The attack last month would have just been an attack had one of the alleged assailants not said what he said. Die, faggots, die. The Bible teaches me to kill you sodomites and things like that.
And last question, Martin. This legislation does not affect that particular case. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Understand the law.
It is not retroactive, unfortunately, and unfortunate for Miss Ellie Ball, who was attacked here in Honolulu just last week.
Well, thank you very much for your comments.
My pleasure.
Okay, back to you.
Starting today, those who commit acts of violence against others based on their religion, race, disability, or sexual orientation will face more time in prison. Hawaii joins a majority of states in enacting a hate crime law. Glenn Wakai is live at the state capitol with details of the law. Glenn?
Hi, Diane. Hate crimes are being called essential for this state, but it's hard to determine the prevalence of such crimes because the state just doesn't keep stats on such issues. The new law will change that by prompting police to begin compiling and analyzing such figures. With the stroke of a pen, the state is putting a specific breed of criminals on notice.
For those who select victims on the basis of hatred for any particular race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, or national origin.
Those who target those individuals based on hate will now face stiffer sentences, a doubling in most cases and life in prison in others. The new law is 10 years in the making.
We have all taken a major step forward in ensuring that ours is a free and equal society, and that we are committed to having a safe community for all.
Not every crime is a hate crime. They're motivated by bigotry, and they're aimed at a threatened or minority class.
Huber says hate crimes are acts of terrorism. Arguably the most glaring display of hate in this state was seen when grave markers at Punch Bowl were spray painted with obscene remarks 4 years ago. Until this day, no one has been arrested for the vandalism. More recently, a group of gay campers on Kauai had to defend themselves against 2 teens accused of targeting the men because of their sexual orientation. Martin Rice was there that Memorial Day weekend. His family has been in the islands for 3 generations and have embraced life here.
The values of tolerance, the values of aloha spirit, and the values of acceptance. But not all of our newly intended residents share that same upbringing, and I certainly hope.
The new law cannot apply to crimes already committed. This bill did not pass without controversy. At 6, we'll talk to one senator who believes this law is unnecessary. Reporting live outside the state capitol, Glenn Wakai, News 8.
Reporter Denby Fawcett joining us now with details. Denby?
Yes, victims of these kinds of crimes say there's no question they were attacked only because of hatred for their race or sexual orientation. They showed up today to applaud the bill signing.
Senate Bill 951, Senate Draft 1, House Draft 1 is now Act 240 in the state of Hawaii. Congratulations to all of you for your work.
The ceremonial signing of the hate crimes bill is a long way from this remote Kauai beach park where Martin Rice and his friends say they were attacked last month by 2 teenagers now on trial for attempted murder.
Because it was motivated out of hate. Very simple. They said to my partner, as one of them was swinging a tiki torch at him, right? Die, faggot, die.
This occasion was a glad day for former teacher Vernice Dennells, not like the afternoon in 1993 when an 8th grade student smashed her in the face with a full book bag, breaking her nose.
What happened was spontaneous. It was unprovocated, and the student was shouting racial epithets.
Families of victims were at the signing. Louise Brewer, her younger brother Kenneth, a gay man, was beaten to death in Hawaii Kai in 1997. Why do you think it was a hate crime?
Because there was no reason to kill him. I mean, he was affable, easy to live with, very pleasant, charming.
This has been a long time coming. Lawmakers have been trying for the last 10 years to get a hate crimes bill up to the governor's desk, but some lawmakers have fought against the bill.
All crime's hateful, and if you start singling out special groups for special treatment, it becomes unequal protection under the law, and I think those reasons are good reasons to not have a law like this.
Hirono asked the governor if she could sign the hate crimes bill into law while he was out of town. Hirono is an early advocate of hate crime legislation, introducing the first bill 10 years ago. Today's high-profile event was a chance for her to get some visibility as she approaches the highly contested race for governor.
Denby, will this new law make a difference in the prosecution of those charged with attacking the gay campers on Kauai?
No, the prosecutor's office says it's too late for that now. The new law was not in effect when the 2 teenagers were charged. Unless there are additional new charges, which is unlikely, the hate crimes bill would not be a factor. Back to you.
All right, Denby, thank you very much.
Poses harsher penalties for hate crimes. But as Greg Takayama reports, it was signed into law too late to help several recent victims.
Senate Bill 951, Senate Draft 1, House Draft 1 is now Act 240 in the state of Hawaii.
Several dozen members of gay and civil rights groups were among the strongest supporters of the new law that allows longer prison terms for those who target minorities for their beliefs or their looks.
Hate crimes are acts of terrorism. This is a form of political violence. Not every crime is a hate crime. They're motivated by bigotry, and they're aimed at a threatened or minority class.
Martin Rice was among a group of gays attacked on a Kauai beach last month.
What has happened recently on Kauai, the Polly Holly incident, is only the tip of the iceberg. That unfortunately hate crimes do exist in Hawaii and we have to address it.
Gay businessman Kenneth Brewer was killed in 1997. His assailant, Stephen Bright, was convicted of misdemeanor assault and served less than a year in jail. Brewer's sister hopes the new law encourages respect for others.
We tend to look at things as we think of them, and we should look at people as being just like us.
The new law could also apply to those who vandalized Hawaii cemeteries with racial slurs in 1997, but who have never been caught. Members of Hawaii's gay community also hope the bill promotes awareness of the need for tolerance towards all minorities in the islands. Greg Takayama, Channel 2 News, State Capitol.
Governor Cayetano allowed Lieutenant Governor Hirono to preside at today's signing because she was among the original proponents of a hate crimes law while in the legislature.